Guys, I hope you are doing well. So in today's session we will be learning about data validation. So how we will go? First we will learn about what is data validation, then conditions, then purpose of data validation, and after that we will resolve a problem statement based upon data validation, and afterwards we will learn about drop down. So first question is, what is data validation? So data validation is a feature used to control the kind of data a user can enter into a cell. It works either by showing a warning or by completely restricting the entry based upon defined rule. If the data violates the rule, a warning is generated or the user is blocked from entering the value altogether. So what I want to say, like you are restricting the user to enter the value based upon certain conditions. If the user violates the condition, then either you are restricting the values altogether or you are inducing a warning such that user will not enter those kind of values. So what kind of conditions you can impose? You can allow the value between a certain range, for example from 1 to 100, or you can restrict the value based upon text length. You can create a drop down list or allow only valid dates based upon formula. So what are purpose of data validation? So basically it prevents the wrong or invalid entries, ensure data accuracy and consistency, and make data entry easier with the drop down list. So what is a problem statement? So this is a problem statement. This is a employee table basically. So in this table, name is given, email is given, age is given, department, entry date and exit date is given. And the problem statement is we have to induce the warning as well as restrict the user to enter the wrong email, wrong age, or the exit date should be later than the entry date, right? So how we will go about it? So first is email. So first case is we are inducing the warning. So how can we do that? So first we have to choose this range, then we have to go to data, then data validation, and then add rule. So if you will see, like here there are valid options. I am choosing here text is valid email. Why? Because we are trying to validate the email. First case is I am trying to show a warning. So I just checked mark this and then done. So now you can see that whichever emails are not valid, there the warning is induced, right? Now user is aware that this is not the valid email. Second case is like if I have to restrict the user altogether to enter the wrong value. So how can we do that? Again add rule, then drop down. Here we have to choose this option, text is valid email. Then instead of showing a warning, reject the input and then show help text for a selected cell. So enter a valid email. This will be the message when user will try to enter the wrong value, and then done. So suppose here I am trying to enter A, B, C. So what happened? This message has come, enter a valid email. So this is how you can control the data entry. Second case is we have to restrict the values in the age column based upon age. So how we can go about it? We have to choose this range, then data, and then again data validation, then add rule. Then instead of drop down list, we have to choose these conditions, greater than or equal to. So suppose greater than equal to 18 I want to allow and less than 18 I don't want to allow. So greater than equal to 18, and then as it is inducing a warning only, so showing a warning and then done. So if I will try to enter like 14, so warning is induced although it allowed to enter the value. When we restrict the value, then it also do not allow to enter the value. So delete this, and now if I am trying to restrict the value, then add rule, and then instead of drop down I have to choose this condition greater than or equal to, and then 18, and here I have to choose this reject the input and show help text for the selected cell, and then done. Now if I am trying to enter the value less than 14, then it is not allowing you to enter that value. So it is giving you the message enter a number greater than or equal to 18. I hope this much is clear. Now in the third case, so we have to induce the restriction on the exit date such that user can only enter the exit date later than entry date. If it is before the entry date, then system will induce the warning in first case, and in the second case it will restrict the user to enter the value altogether. So how can we go about it? So we have to choose this range, then add rule, then instead of drop down we have to choose date on or after, and then instead of today we have to choose exact date, and then show a warning, and then done. Here we have to choose the condition also, so that should be equal to E2 because entry date is in the E2 column. Then done. So now if I will try to enter the wrong entry, then the system will induce the error. So for example, here I am trying to enter 2022 01 and 14. So as this date is before the entry date, so system is inducing the error. In the second case, I don't want to induce the error, but I want to restrict the value altogether. So how can I do that? So again I have to choose this range, then add rule, then instead of drop down I have to choose date is on or after, then instead of today exact date, then E2 equal to E2, and now reject the input and show the help text for selected cell, and then OK. Now if I will try to enter the value, so it will not allow me to enter the value altogether. So here I am trying to enter 14. So now you can see that a system is inducing the warning and we are restricted to enter the value altogether. So this is how the data validation works, and this is how you can impose the rules also. Second thing is, now we will be learning about drop down. So drop down is basically like while entering the data, instead of entering it manually, we can give the list to the user so that he can conveniently choose the data from that list, and he can avoid the typing per se. So how can we do that? So this is basically a task manager's dashboard. So we are trying to manage the tasks. So this is task ID, task name, assigned to, priority and status. So we are trying to create the drop down list for same. So how can we do that? So it is quite simple. We have to choose this range, then add rule, and then drop down list is already there, and then just OK. Now you can see that very beautifully this list is produced. So this is how you can produce the drop down list. Similarly for the status also you can induce the drop down list, add rule, then drop down it is already chosen, and then done. So this is how you can induce the drop down list. Thank you. I hope everything is clear.